Hi. So I joined Instagram. I joined super late. I joined about a year ago. I've been I was very reluctant. First of all, I had a BlackBerry and I thought that an iPhone couldn't possibly be better. I was terrified of the whole... whenever I borrowed an iPhone, I couldn't type on it, and I was like one of these last people who said it's impossible to type on an iPhone. And I think at the end, I think I bought the iPhone so that I could join Instagram, because I tried to work out how can I join Instagram on a BlackBerry, and I didn't crack it. So yeah, that was definitely something that drew me to Instagram, but I was also terrified because I was going through... I had left Facebook. Can't remember when I left Facebook, but I was very afraid of... I was afraid of the internet, and I felt my whole life getting sucked into a computer, and I wanted to try and get away from it. And then when I finally joined, I think, I was immediately hooked, and I spend a fair amount of time every day on it. Let's see if I can remember the other questions. Some were about the like culture. I grew up, I don't know, I was already an adult, but my photography definitely, I didn't have a photography career without the internet and without the like culture. So I have no experience. I did it, my first images I did on my own, and I was free to experiment, but I did not have an audience at all. So I don't have any experience of working with photography as a professional photographer, and not finding the audience primarily through the internet. So I think there's probably a massive freedom in being a photographer and not using the internet, and not having a clue of what's going to be liked and what isn't going to be liked, because after a while you definitely do learn. I noticed quite early on my Flickr that girls with flowers got a lot more likes than some pictures that I cared a lot more about. And my self-portraits were very popular early on. Still that on Instagram, the selfies do tend to maybe get more likes than other pictures. And do I think a lot of likes equal a good photo? No, I definitely don't. In some ways, I guess, well, it's hard to say, because in some ways a lot of likes equal that you've reached and touched a lot of people, and that's a definition maybe of a good photo. So it's hard to say. Likes are definitely addictive, but I have to remind myself that a lot of likes does not equal a good photo, and some photos that mean a lot to me, and I have to constantly remind myself to trust my own judgment. And I've also, now that I've been doing this for a few years, I've also had the interesting experience of sending a photograph out to the world and not having much attention at the time, and then it getting sort of discovered a couple of years later, and people appreciating it. And so you really gotta keep trusting. You got to trust your guts, and yeah, it's hard though. But I'm the first to admit that I do get affected by the likes, and yeah. So I think that's why I also, this summer I actually took 8 weeks off the internet. I didn't spend any time on the internet, and I went out into the forest and just created stuff for myself without having any response from anyone. What are the other questions? There's people using it as people posting their film or like more edited pictures on Instagram. What do I think of it? And when I started out, I decided that this is only gonna. Sorry, I got a cold. I don't know if you can probably can't hear. When I started out, I decided that I was only going to use it for iPhone snapshots, because that's the whole idea of it. And I thought I already had a platform for my other photography, and there was also sort of a something relaxing about the idea that I just was going to take pictures with my iPhone, and the quality didn't have to be that good, and I could maybe more have fun with it. And the people I do appreciate the most on Instagram are usually the people who use it as a phone snapshot camera. But having said that, I've also I have started taking pictures of my pictures. So I've used my iPhone and taken pictures of prints, and those pictures often, well, I notice some of those pictures get a lot more likes. So I do understand why people might want to put higher quality stuff on Instagram, but yeah, I try not to do that too much. What was he saying? I don't know. But I don't know. And the audience on Instagram. I think my audience is primarily photography interested. So I don't have that much to say about that. There's definitely a massive, wide audience out on Instagram, but I don't think that they have started my account. So, and do I think it's going to be around for a long time? Probably not. Probably going to be like all these other internet trends come and go. Something else will show up. Right, I think I answered most of it. Thank you so much for including me in this project. And